So over the last 5 or so years, myself and my company have made millions of pounds in revenue with marketing agencies. And I know a lot of you watching this probably struggling to get started. Perhaps you have an idea to start an agency, perhaps you have a concept, perhaps you have a niche, but you're just not sure how to get the ball rolling and get started. So in this video, I'm doing a literal live demonstration of coming up with a completely random niche and building out an entire agency from scratch. I'm going to try and do it in just one video. So this should be interesting. And this video is actually taken from a 5-week full course on the foundations of starting a marketing agency. The rest of this 5-week course can be found in my school community, which I'm going to leave a link to down below. As part of this school group, you also get access to an amazing community and 2 Q&A calls per week with myself. So if you want to get access to those, click the link down below. So we're going to jump into my screen. We're going to get going, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure you leave a like, drop a subscribe, and leave a comment for what you guys want to see next. Okay, cool. How you guys doing? It's Sam here, and welcome to another video training. Today is going to be a really great subject that I've been really looking forward to doing. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. If you guys haven't already seen the previous 2 videos, obviously in this series, we recently just covered like agency foundations, and we also covered niche selection. So how to go about creating your niche, selecting your service, what you guys are going to offer and who it's going to be for, and all of that kind of stuff. So obviously those are the previous 2 videos, so make sure you watch those before you watch this. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about creating your brand identity. So this is everything from like the start to finish in one video. And actually we've got a really exciting style of the video. We're actually going to be live today, creating our own brand, creating our own agency. I'm going to be picking a random niche from a flywheel off the cuff. It's going to be live on this particular video, so there's no cheating involved. And we're going to go and create a brand, a name, find a domain, and even go as far as like start to design a website for it, all in one video. So I don't know how long this training is going to be. We'll try and keep it as short as possible. We want to make sure we get everything done. We may go ahead in later videos and go as far as like actually building this out further, depending on how it goes. So yeah, let's get straight into the training. I'm going to talk briefly about agency branding as a topic first, and then we're going to go into the actual activity of building it out together. So in today's video, we're going to cover personal brands versus agency brands. The benefits of both, because you don't have to, you know, if you want to be an online service provider, sell a service, whether that's ad design, whether that's web design, whether that's optimizations, whether that's video editing, whatever you want to do, it doesn't have to be done via an agency. You can be quite a successful personal brand freelance consultant, like, you know. So we're going to talk about that briefly. Second thing is going to be creating and naming an agency live on the workshop. And then third, we're going to talk about agencies that nailed it. I've got a few case studies to show you. I'm going to show you those before we go and do the live demonstration, actually. So first thing we're covering is personal brands versus agency brands. If you don't know what a personal brand is, it would be, instead of me having an agency called, I don't know, Leads for X or whatever, or you know, whatever it might be called, it would be Samuel Darby, and I would be a self-employed freelancer consultant type of person. Might not change the type of service you offer, but just the way you advertise yourself, the way you brand yourself. And there's positives and negatives to both, which we're going to talk about. So you don't have to create an agency to succeed. Personal brands often stand out more. We're going to show you some examples of that. But here's some positives and negatives to a personal brand. So the biggest positives are people like buying from individuals. So I would say arguably when you generate leads to a personal brand, sales becomes easier because you're on the face of the company, and then when you go and deliver the pitch or the demo, it's a lot easier to close them because you kind of got that. You've already got a rapport built up with you, arguably. Number 2, it's easier to build a social presence, much easier. People much prefer following individuals than they do prefer following brands, so it's no argument there. It's definitely easier. You can often charge more money, and there's an argument just because you're the one working on the accounts, you're the one dealing with the client. I would argue that a lot of people would preferably pay an individual more than they would pay an agency, but some people might disagree with that. Fourth, differentiation. There's so many agencies out there. So if you're kind of coming in as an individual, I think it differentiates you. And often if you're pitching against an agency and they see they're working directly with you and with the agency they're working with, mid-level managers and stuff, I would argue that there's some differentiation there and it's probably an easier close. Competitive advantage kind of comes into differentiation, kind of sets you apart and gives you a little bit of a competitive advantage versus agencies. Networking opportunities. If you grow a personal brand, it gives you far more networking opportunities, I would argue. You get invited to speak at events, you get invited to go to conferences, you get invited to go on other people's channels and stuff like that. It's more of a kind of networking opportunity. Now, some downsides. People want to work with you. So it's a certain point, you're kind of tied in, right? If you're a personal brand and people work, when they find out they're not working directly with you, can turn people off. So it does limit you there. Obviously, that then limits you on time, which is the second point. Obviously, much harder to scale. You can't really scale a personal brand unless you have a business on the back end of the personal brand. But then you might not want to scale it. You might just want to earn 10, 20 grand a month on your own, working your own hours. And you absolutely can do that with a personal brand agency. Obviously, reputation risk. If you screw anything up, it's your personal brand on the line. It's not an agency that you can just flip up a new one. It's your personal brand on the line. And obviously, hard to exit. People typically don't want to purchase individual brands. They want to purchase actual brands. They don't want to purchase personal brands. They want to purchase an actual business asset. So if you leave that business asset, there's still value and it can still operate with somebody else managing a team and stuff like that. So it depends what you want to do as an individual. You need to think about what your goals are in business, what your personal aspirations are. Do you want a lifestyle business? Do you want to build a company and work really hard and sell it? So you got to think about those things. Now we'll go on to the benefits and positives and negatives of a agency brand. Scalable, higher value. I would argue that if a personal brand is doing 20 grand a month and a business brand, an agency is doing 20 grand a month, the agency is more valuable on paper. Which kind of comes to my third point, which is because it's easy to exit. You can remove yourself from that business and it keeps running. And obviously less personal risk, like we already talked about. Some negatives, it's less personable. You don't have as much of a personal connection with like leads and sales and things like this. You can kind of caveat that by having a personal brand and then marketing your agency in the back end of that, which is kind of what I've always done. And that's kind of the way I like to do it. But again, up to yourself. Harder to grow a social presence, much harder to grow on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok as an agency than it is to grow as an individual. I've tried both. Definitely easier as an individual. Definitely can be done still. Hard to differentiate against other agencies. You don't have that kind of unique selling point like the personal brand does. And obviously it's easier to be copied. You can't really copy a personal brand. If somebody's posting content as an individual, running ads for clients, making a good living, harder to be copied, whereas an agency can arguably be kind of copied, not completely, but it's easier to do, I would say. So those are some of the negatives and positives. Now we're going to get into an example or a personal brand. This is the best one I could find. You guys probably know who this guy is, Ben Heath. Probably the go-to expert on Facebook ads on YouTube, I would argue. There's obviously lots of people talking about Facebook ads, but Ben Heath has kind of cemented himself as the kind of Facebook ads KPI, key person of influence, for those who know the reference. One of the best out there, and his content is just, he's constantly posting. And obviously in the back end of that, he's got Heath Media, which is kind of an agency, but also kind of a personal brand. So he's probably done this on purpose, kind of kept his name in there, but also done it in a way where he can hire people, hire ad experts, because he's definitely not doing all the work on the back end. And obviously that there's an element of personal branding, but also actual scalable business. I still think it would be hard to sell, but done a very, very, very good job. This is a great example. And obviously you don't have to be Ben Heath's level. You could be a, real expert within a very specific niche, which we're going to get into in this video. And we're going through some agency brand examples. So these are websites that I know the owners of some of these, but we're going to start with the one on the left here. Just pause that. This is Atomic Marketing, a Google Ads agency, more or less specifically focused around the kind of, I suppose, home improvement sector. So they do a lot of like pest control, they do a lot of roofing, things like this. And their website is very, very simple. Their branding is very, very simple, but they've really nailed it. Like really focused on their niche. It's really obvious what they do. If we go back to their kind of header, high quality exclusive leads and jobs using Google Ads. generate new inquiries for your business and turn them into high-paying value customers who value quality work over price. Really nailed their niche. They're kind of going further into the quality element of it because they're Google ads, not Facebook ads, so the quality is typically higher. I think the branding's nice. It's not like too specific to home improvements. I suppose it's done on purpose because they don't want to be tied into one sector or niche. But very good job. Lots of social proof here. Branding, colors is nice. Very simple website. It's clean. Very focused on the client results. I love this section here. Even the thumbnails are branded. Looks great. Explains what they do clearly. It's kind of like a one-pager. So there's not like loads of pages going on. It's not like a home page with a bunch of other pages. They have got a case study section, which I really like, which kind of goes into blog articles where they talk about specific projects and what they did. But again, all around, very, very good. Another one here is a company called No Limit Creatives. These guys offer effectively affordable design and video services for like adverts, for I suppose Instagram posts, whatever you would need them for. But they've done a great job. This is a business that's been run for years and years and years, but I remember them back when they started, different logo and everything. But No Limit Creatives is a very, very good name. Does what it says in the tin name, which we're going to talk about a bit more in a bit, which I like. I think the No Limit Creatives, I mean, you think of just unlimited amount of images and videos being designed for you, which is exactly what they do, right? So very, very cool, very, very clean, lovely branding. Very similar to Atomic in terms of the very clear kind of headline. Now, this would have, back in the day, this probably said something like unlimited images and video designs for one monthly price. Obviously, as they've grown, they maybe have gone into more like commercialized and gone into bigger companies and now have more like enterprise options and stuff like that. So maybe they've kind of changed that branding a little bit. But when they started, it was very, very simple, right, what they did. And the website wasn't quite as, wasn't quite this high end, I suppose. But again, great example and a cool logo as well. Two more examples we've got here. On the left here, conversion wise. Now I know I have had Ollie on this channel. If you go back on my channel a few videos, you'll see my interview with Ollie. These guys, again, does what it says on the tin. If we go back to the beginning, now these guys used to be called landing page guys because all they did was design and build landing pages. So for that, it was perfect. Now they've gone into lots of other things: websites, optimization services, courses. So obviously the branding's changed a little bit since then. But conversion-wise makes sense. They're all about conversions. So kind of, again, does what it says in the tin. Website is a one sales page landing page, which is, as you guys will know, kind of my favorite way to design sites. The home page does all the talking, and then any subsequent pages aren't like necessary to generate a interested inquiry. But again, cool logo, very cool branding, very cool name, and these guys absolutely kill it. And obviously us, use growth. Now our logo isn't that specific actually, and if I could have gone back in hindsight, I might have picked one that was more specific to home improvements because we really are only home improvements. But I think the branding's nice. Again, website is very specific to what we offer, what we do, who it's for, a little bit of information about how we do it, but mostly case studies, performance, results, all that kind of stuff that people care about, and a clear call to action. So not quite as snazzy as the other ones I showed you, but does the job. And I'll quickly talk about agency branding, and then we're going to go into our live demonstration. So my advice for creating the best agency brand possible: buy a good domain. It doesn't have to be expensive. We're going to talk about that in a sec. Keep it simple. Does what it says in the tin names. I like. And there's different ways of doing that. Make it sticky, so memorable. You don't want to have, I don't know, Smith and John Marketing Limited.co.uk. You get my point, right? It's not sticky. Use colors that match your niche, which we're going to do in a minute. Keep your branding clear and to the point, and collect case studies and reviews, and use those on your website. Leverage them as much as possible. So now we're going to go into our live demonstration. I'm going to quickly pause the demo in a sec, get all my resources ready, and then we're going to jump into the live demonstration. But these are the steps we're going to follow. Number one, we're going to pick a niche. Haven't picked it yet. I've put a random selection of possible options into a random selector, and we're going to randomly select the niche, which is fun, right? So this is live, off the cuff. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't screw it up. Number two, choosing our name. We're going to find a name. I'm going to give you some of the resources that I would use to create like a cool name, like ChatGPT, but also a few other online resources I like to use. Find a domain. We're going to source a domain. We might not buy it live, but we're going to source it and see if it's available, and which obviously you guys can follow the same steps, doing this yourself. creating our logo, we're going to go to some different options of how you can create a logo. We're going to do like a free version and a paid version and give you my best recommendations. And number 5, we're going to look at some website creation tools, how we can knock up a very quick website using Go High Level. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to pause this, get my resources up, and then continue the video. Okay, cool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click to spin. Now, you guys can see I've just honestly randomly selected a bunch of niches. In my previous video, on the niche selection video, we did go through how I find niches and services and all of those things and how I value them. But we're not going to focus too much on that in this video. This is going to be as random as possible. So I've got all local, more or less local businesses. We've got artificial grass, dentists, car repair, maintenance, restaurants, cafes, real estate, tutoring, pest control, loads of ones. There's maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20 in here. We're going to randomly select one. So let's go. Let's click to spin. Let's see what we've got. I suppose this makes it a bit more interesting, doesn't it? Okay, dentist, car repair and maintenance. It looks like. Oh, car repair and maintenance. It is. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm actually going to do is a little bit of research. Okay, like obviously this is a completely new niche to me. Like honestly, I was hoping it wouldn't be this. This is quite a tricky one, but it makes it more interesting. I think actually for branding purposes, this is quite fun. Now, obviously make this simple, we're going to pick something really easy to do, which is going to be just like lead generation or Facebook ads for car repair companies. So I guess like MOT centers, what we call them in the UK, or like garages, car garages. So let's go to Google and just search car repair and maintenance. And we're going to go Surrey, which isn't not where I live, but close enough. Let's have a look what we've got. I'm just going to pull up maps. Okay, see what we've got going on here. Let's go to maps so we can see more information. Okay, cool. So these ones are sponsored, so they're obviously running ads. Let's have a look at them anyway. K&P Motors Limited. We've got Shelby Vehicle Services Limited. Again, these, not the coolest names, right? But most of these companies are been around for years, family run. Most of them don't rely on paid ads, but this is going to make this farm much more interesting anyway. So, sorry, car maintenance. Okay, cool. So, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to pull up a couple of these websites. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of use the colors they're using. Keep these websites open so I can kind of look at what colors the companies are using, because we're going to use those colors to create our branding. Lots of dark grays, blacks. I did see a blue color here with blue and red, which I thought was quite cool. So we might come back to that. Shelby, I like this yellow. I've got to say, I do like this yellow. This is quite cool color. I like the yellow and blue. I'm leaning towards this yellow and blue color, but we're going to keep that up. We're going to use a color in a minute. We're going to get a color palette and we're going to come up with some ideas. Let's go Surrey car maintenance. Let's have a look at their website. Orange, that's cool. I like that. Orange and black, very cool. Let's go on-site repairs more. On-site mobile auto repairs. Not sure about that name, but there you go. Let's have a look at that website. Again, kind of seeing a common trend here, oranges, yellows, right? It seems like quite a common trend, and that's interesting. It's not so much what the customers care about, it's more what these guys care about, right? Because our brand doesn't have to resonate with the customers, it has to resonate with the actual, again, yellow. I think we found our color, guys. Like, it's got to be this yellow. I'm thinking yellow and black. So we're gonna stick with that. We've got this. I don't like that. We've got this yellow blue. We've got this yellow and black. We've got this orange and black and orange and black. So I think we're gonna go with either orange and black or yellow and black, or maybe yellow and blue. But we're gonna keep this open here in the corner, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my color palette up. Okay, so I've come to coolers. So colors with 2 O's. For you Americans, for you Brits, and what this does is cool. So what this allows you to do, and I've always used this one, is it allows you to lock in certain colors. So if we go back to our color here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a screenshot of this. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to color HDMI. There we go. HTML, sorry. So what this does is a cooler website. This allows you to essentially grab a color from a file. So let's pause this, grab this color, upload it. All right, cool. So what I've done is I've actually grabbed both of them in a little screen grab, which is making it a little bit easy. So we're going to grab this yellow first. I'm going to come up to our color palette. We're going to lock this in here. Lock it. And then we're going to go ahead and, I think we hit space. Yeah, space. Quite like this. I'm going to lock that. Keep locking, keep locking. Quite like this. So we're going to, it's quite cool. We're going to lock that in. Let's press it again. I think I'm going to go with this yellow and this blue. But let's unlock this. Okay, cool. Do you know what? I quite like this combo here. So we're going to come back to this in a bit later. For now we've kind of got our color schemes locked in. I'm actually going to pull up a notes tab so I can note this down. Okay, cool. I've just popped that in here so we can refer back to these colors. We don't want to lose them. So now we have our colors. The next step for us is choosing our name. So I have, again, kind of like a budget version and then a more, I don't know, you might say costly version, but we're going to stick with the budget version to start with. So we're going to go back to our tab here. In fact, we're going to go and open we should have ChatGPT open somewhere. Here we go. So 1 second. Okay, cool. So we're going to give ChatGPT a little prompt here. Hi, I am starting a marketing agency that helps car, what did we call it again? Let's see what they call themselves. Auto maintenance and repair, let's call it that. Companies get more leads through social media advertising. Can you give me some business names? Now, I'm not going to give it any more prompts. I'm just going to go with this, and we're going to see what comes back. I might give it more prompts. I usually do. Auto leads. Auto leads is cool. I'm going to write that one down. Rev up social. That's cool. I like that. Write that one down. Drive flow. Gear shift marketing. Auto sparks. Spark plug. Road ready. Motor mark media. Wheelhouse leads. All right, let's see what else. Can you give me 20 more names that are just 2 syllables? I've spelled syllables wrong there, definitely. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, cool. 2 syllable names. Wheelwise, revrise, gear fuse, drive lift, auto pulse, shift sync, drive wave, motor mate, car click, tune in. I like tune in. I'm not really sure what it means, but it's quite a cool name. What else we got? Zoom zing, drive duo, link lift. Okay. Okay, 3 syllables. Let's see what comes back. Drive master media, gear shift, rev up, strat. Auto edge. Let's just say, can you use the word leads in the name? See what it says, because that's what we're doing. We're generating leads. See, now it's completely, it's not really using our kind of references here. But anyway, we're going to go to a second strategy. We've got a couple cool names down there. Lead drive is cool. I like the word name lead drive. There's a way we can get lead drive as a local domain. You never know. Very cool. In fact, let's go and have a quick look on Fasthosts. We've come to GoDaddy. We're going to see with lead drive. I highly doubt this or anything similar is available, but you never know. It's worth checking always. Fingers crossed. See what we got. Okay, so lead drive is taken. Lead-drive.co.uk is free. Now, that's not perfect, but it may well have to do. So we're going to pop that in next to this. Auto leads is also cool. We're going to copy that. But we have lead drives. Not bad. Oh, I'm gonna drop that one in there. Lead drives, leads driver. What about leads drive? Oh fuck. There we go. That's got to be the 1p for our potentially our future multi-million pound agency name. Wow. I think we're gonna have to go with this one. It's gonna have to be the one, isn't it? I am gonna show you my other strategy for finding names though before we move on. So we're gonna quickly do that now. I'm gonna come back to this. We're gonna pause the recording. I'm gonna put it up, and we'll start recording again. Now, okay, this is called. In fact, no, this isn't it. Where am I going? It's called Squad Help, which is a website. I clicked on an ad. That's what I did. Squad Help. Here we go. So this is a great way to find. It's changed. Okay, it used to be called Squad Help. Now it's called Atom, apparently. But it's basically a name kind of finder. So if you go to names for sale, they sell domains. If I just search here, mechanic. Let's just search mechanic. Or like car leads. You never know what might come up. Leadsy, we've got lead truck, lead propel, proper propel lead, chase force. What have we got here? Right lead, right pivot. Now, obviously, you have to do some digging on these websites, but what they basically do is they resell as a domain. So often there might be like, you might lead truck, for example. You might like the name lead truck. You can then go back to GoDaddy. You can search lead truck, and oftentimes, lead truck. There you go. Leadtruck.co.uk is available. The .com's like expensive, but the .co.uk is available. So you can just buy the .co.uk. You don't necessarily, if you're operating in your local area, if you're in Sweden or if you're in Australia or wherever, you can usually buy the .au or whatever it might be. Like extension. And if you're operating locally, usually I would say, like for a UK-based company, a .co.uk domain is absolutely fine. Okay, if you're planning on like a global expansion, or you're planning on operating in the States, you might need a .com. But for the UK, a .co.uk will actually be fine. So lead truck's cool, but it's not quite specific enough. So we're going to go leadsdrive.co.uk. I really like that. It's like driving leads in, but also driving cars. Kind of makes sense, right? So we're going to move on to the logo design element to this. Now we have our colors, we have our domain. Kind of got everything sorted now. It's kind of onto a winner. So we're going to move on to logos. So I'm going to give you 2 logo options for creating one. We're going to try and get one done by the end of this call. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to try a couple of these ones out. This is the first one I've come to is called logoai.com. Not expecting too much here, but let's go ahead and... Oh, it's not letting me do it. 1 second. Okay, I had to log into that one. So we're going to go ahead and try this one first. app.brandmark.io. So we're going to call it Leads Drive. We're going to go with one word for now. We might separate those two, but quality leads for car. We're going to call it car mechanics for now. We can obviously change the slogan. That's fine. I'm going to give it some key names. We're going to do cars, car repair, car detailing, car sales, mechanic. Let's go ahead and use that. Hopefully it lets us choose the colors. It's not letting us choose the colors. Well, let's go ahead and get our logo, and we maybe get to change the colors after. Okay, so it's giving us some options. Let's have a little scroll through these. Not immediately taken away. I do quite like this. I'd like it to be... I think you could do something cool with the... turning the E into a steering wheel or something, or adding like like a bit of smoke in the background or something like that. Obviously, it's going to be limited in terms of what we can do for with that, with a free AI tool or something like that. But let's see what we got here. Don't love that. Don't love that. Don't love that. This is kind of cool. It's kind of modern looking. Let's go ahead and copy this. Paste it into our notes. Oh, and obviously we're going to change the colors and say, that's quite cool. Quite like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the colors of this one. Color. Going to pop in my FFC C1A. And then the other color, I'm going to go with the this one, 61707D. Quite cool, but I think it would look cooler if it was black. Let's go 02020A. Or let's copy that, put that in the middle. Ah, no, don't want to do that. Damn it. FFC. Let me get this right. Okay, cool. We've kind of come up with this. I quite like this. I think it's quite cool. So I'm going to stick with this for now as my free option. Now, what you could do is you could take this logo, you could bring it into Canva, and you could then see what you can do in Canva in terms of optimizing it, changing it, or anything like that. But I think this is quite cool. I think it kind of does what it needs to do. We've got a cool domain, we've got a cool logo. The next stage is a paid version of this. So I'm going to quickly pull that up now, show you what that looks like, and then we'll go from there. Okay, cool. So this is called Hatchwise. Now, Hatchwise is by far the best, in my opinion, by far the best solution for hiring a logo designer. And actually, I did this for the agency club. So if you guys want to use this, you don't mind spending the money, you can see here I paid $140. And this is the logo that I ended up with. See if we can put it up here, which I think is really cool. So what it does is an A. I've got an icon name there. We've kind of got this C and the A incorporated into the emblem, which I really liked. And I think it's clean. I think it's clean and simple. Obviously, I can then go back to the designer and ask him for different colors and stuff like that. But essentially, when I've always done logos, I always find it difficult to really nail what I want to one designer. So what Squad Help does is you give them your logo, your name of your business, what kind of logo you want to design, and then Squad Help will then go and submit that to like hundreds of designers, and they come back with concepts. And then if you don't like a concept, you just remove it immediately. So some of these you can see are pretty bad. I mean, some of them are really bad. Most of them are really bad, in fact, but some of them were quite cool. So when you find one you like, see if I can find one that I like. It says go highest rated, so I've obviously rated them. So yeah, I liked this one. I thought was quite cool. This one I liked, which ended up kind of becoming the finished product. So if you tell the designer you like it, you can tell him what you don't like. You can see here both of those have come from the same guy, and then he comes back and submits the final product, and I loved it. Right, so obviously you kind of provide feedback, and you ultimately get a really cool logo. Now this is the same logo we use to design usegrowth.com. So this one here, we use the same agency to create this logo, which I love. I think it's a cool logo, and it's about, you can spend, I think, up to maybe less than $60-$70 to get a logo design done. You just get less variations basically, but can be an amazing option to get a logo designed. So yeah, that's pretty much everything when it comes to logo design. We've obviously got our very simple logo. I am going to try one more thing, which is going to Canva and seeing if I can come up with a cooler, fresher logo idea on my own. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to pull that up and come back to you. Okay, so I've come into Canva and I've just popped in there logo car mechanic. And to be fair, there's some cool ones in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up a couple and we're going to play around with them, see if we can do something cool. This one I like. Not sure what it means, but I do like this concept. So we're going to go ahead and pull up one. Let's pull up this one. Let's customize it. And obviously here you get more variations of it. So that could be quite cool. We're going to try that one as well. So we're going to grab our name, Leads Drive. Obviously what we're going to have to do here is make everything smaller. And we're going to have to extend this. Quite cool. Quite cool. So I put this here. If I go back to Canva, we're going to go FFCC1A in our color. Wow. Also, we've got this orange here. We need to change to that yellow too. Look at that. There you go. Let's try this 61707D. 617. It's the outline color that we need to change. Don't know if we can do that. Here we go. 61707D. Okay, I actually think I prefer the dark black, but you know, you could go ahead and change all of these if you wanted to your grey color. Oh, sorry. There you go. You could go ahead and change all of these. I'll quickly do that now and resume. Okay, cool. So this is what we've come up with. I quite like this. This is kind of cool. I do wonder if there'd be a better version where you could do like leads, drive, and you could limit the letter line spacing like this, like that maybe, and you could move your thingy down here. That could be cooler. And you could change this to yellow. Get rid of those. Actually, no, don't get rid of those. You need them. As you can see, I can easily get carried away with this. Make this yellow. That's cool. I love that. That's really cool. I think I found it. I'm gonna go make that yellow. Man, that's cool. Look, that perfectly fits as well. Wow. That's cool. I mean, I might be the only one that thinks that's cool, but man, that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and download that page. Download that. I am also gonna cool. I've gone ahead and made a yellow and a white version of our logo so we can download both those pages, and we've now got our logo finished. I love it. I mean, obviously, you know, it's makeshift at the end of the day. Like, if you guys wanted to go full on pro and design your own logo, you could obviously go and do that with Hatchwise. Like, that's the one I recommend. I would never been able to design something that looks like that myself. It's clean, it's simple, it's sleek, and it's unique. And there's a strong chance that with the Canva logo, someone else out there has that logo. But you can go ahead, you can start off with the Canva one. You can then go ahead and, you know, once you've made some money and you've got a few clients, you can go and spend $140 on your own logo. Obviously, you can do all the basics first. So now than that, we're going to spend some time looking into websites. You know, if I can knock up a simple website foundation for you guys, and then you guys can then figure out the rest yourselves, that's great. So let's go to high level and we'll resume. Cool. So we're now in high level. We've come to our website section of our high level section. We're going to see what templates they have. So we're going to go with the template. I'm going to see automotive. Now, gonna pull up some of these previews in other tabs. There's a preview here. Bit too automotive feel. What we could do is we can try some business coaching consulting ones. All right. This one's quite simple. Could get the job done. It's nice enough. Let's have a look what else we got. Okay, I found this marketing agency section. We're gonna preview this one. I think this one's simple enough to get the job done, to be honest. It's not perfect, but let's give this one a go. Awesome. All right, we'll come back when this is ready. Okay, I've been playing around with this one and I can't seem to get rid of this image, so I'm actually just going to go back and change this and pick a different template. Again, I am no means a go high level expert. I'm just going to spend 2 minutes seeing what I can come up with real quickly. So let's have a look what else we got. Okay, we've got this cool one here, which is a fitness one, but it's not too bad. So we might go with this. We're going to keep this one available. Okay, we found one that I think is my favorite. It's simple enough. We're going to go with this. All right, let's load it up. Okay, here we go. So I'm not going to do anything apart from change this to, in fact, let's grab AI and see what we can come up for us. So we can do, let's grab our name. I have a name for the agency called Leads Drive, which drives high quality pre-qualified leads into car mechanics and car repair garages in the UK. Can you write me a simple yet effective website headline that will resonate with them. Give me more examples. Let's see what we got. Do some more simple ones. I don't like these overly kind of dramatized headlines. Least drive. Let's go with this, and we'll go ahead and edit it up a little bit. Oh, let's write it. Leads drive your source. Let's just go high quality, pre-qualified leads for car repair shops. Now, obviously, you might want to. In fact, we'll get rid of leads drive. We'll just do that. I'm going to go ahead and change this background. Actually, I uploaded one to thingy earlier. Now, obviously, you might want to pick a better one than this. You can obviously change these colors to the colors that we picked earlier. So I'll quickly do that now. Awesome, we've done that. We're going to do that here as well. Now, obviously, I'm not building this whole website out for you guys. You guys can do all that stuff yourself, right? But we're just doing the basics. So we're going to grab my logo first. I'm just going to minimize this a little bit so there's less of the noise. Nice. Okay, cool. We're going to drop that in here. It's not transparent. It doesn't matter. You guys get the idea, right? I think what I probably would do is change this background to the background that we use in our Canva template. There it is. We've got this dark grey. Let's grab that. Change this. Now it sucks. It looks awful. Anyway, you get the idea. You might want to clean this up a little bit and make this logo a bit smaller. Let's do that quickly. There we go. And obviously it's not transparent, but you guys get the idea, right? We're not doing this to build a whole business from scratch, right? This is just the basic fundamentals. We've got a cool little name. We've got a cool domain that's available, and it didn't cost us hundreds or thousands of pounds to get it all done with a branding agency. I think if you're going to use your money, you're better spending it on something like Hatchwise, where it's a good quality logo. It gives you a lot of options, and really what you want is concepts. You want good logos typically come from like cool concepts where they've taken the concept of what the logo kind of explains what they do in a cool way. That's kind of what you want, right? So anyway, that's pretty much the end of today's video. Obviously, I know we covered a lot, and I know I yapped a lot, but hopefully you guys got something from this. And yeah, I just want to kind of do a bit of a overview really of what we covered today. So what have we learned? Keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it specific, focus on 80-20. If you can't afford a logo design, don't worry. Don't go spending hundreds of pounds on domains. You can get a good domain, a good quality domain easily. Make it look professional, and obviously a small amount of effort in the early stages before you go start outreaching and running ads or doing cold sales calls and stuff like that. You want to have a good brand in place, something that at least looks professional from a customer's perspective. So yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully you guys found that useful. Make sure you tune in for tomorrow's content, that also the next content in this series. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. As I said before, if you guys want to get access to the full 5-week course, which has about 20 to 30 videos that are being drip fed every week at the moment, you can get access immediately to the first 5 videos, which covers all the basic foundations to starting your agency. You can get access to those in the description box down below, as well as join an amazing community and get access to 2 coaching calls per week with myself. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, drop a like down below if you did, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.